Hello y'all, and welcome back to Bourgeoisie is Me YouTube channel. So I have not done a video in like forever, and even when I was doing, I only did like a few. But I wanted to put out this video because I most recently bought a DTF printer. And I know that's a hot thing going on now. I'm one of those people that I do small batch creations for people in my community. So getting a smaller print DTF printer worked for me. I've had sublimations. I currently have a Glowforce that I love and I use projects on. I have a WeCreate that I do projects on, but I wanted to try the DTF. I've done sublimation. I just gave away my sublimation printer because even though I know a lot of people love sublimation, it was never really my bag. I struggled with the only white and only certain materials, but I couldn't even consider DTF because DTF was so pricey. So like I do with most of my higher end machines, I went to YouTube, and after watching a few videos I felt that the Procolored K13 light was the best for me. So let me tell you, I am not a YouTuber, so I want to tell you my experience with purchasing this machine. I've never dealt with Procolored. I don't know much of their products, but I do like my YouTubers, and I do affiliate codes and all that stuff, but I'll get to that later. So I purchased this machine, I want to think on a Sunday, and I got it super fast. Like, I was on Amazon. It came like within 7 days. I want to think probably around 4 days. And they put it in the garage, and I was at work, and my mother sent me a picture, and the first thing I noticed was it did not come with a locker. So I know that all the videos that I've seen for Procolored K13 light, they bring it in the house and they have these super nice. When I was in college, my mother got me a foot locker, and I did not get that. And I'm gonna tell you, I was a little salty dog about that. In my mind, I had already decided what I was gonna put in this locker. So you'll hear more about that later, because that was pretty a sore spot for me. It just came in a regular box that had the name on the back, it had the name on the front, on the back, no locker. So again, I'm not a YouTuber, and it came crazy fast. So the time that it took me to put the whole machine together was probably about 90 minutes. I ran into minimal hiccups. My husband did help me, and even though we were videotaping a lot of the footage, it took us all day. But if you were just sitting down, you're by yourself, you're not fussing with your husband, you're not, getting your kids together, stuff like that, it probably takes about 90 minutes. But I was doing a whole lot of other stuff, so it took, I would think it'd probably take about 90 days to set up. I do think it's a two-person setup. It was easier for me to have somebody help me put it on this table and move it to this table and things like that. If your garage is not fussy like mine, you probably would be okay. Because I have the oven in the garage and I have the actual printer inside the home. I live out in the Valley of the Sun, so I want to make sure that even though it's really nice and mellow right now, I didn't want to have to move my printer when it got like crazy hot later on. As far as the sound, it's no louder than a regular printer. I found it to be extremely quiet. It printed out, I think it printed out pretty fast, but I'm not a DTF guru, so I'm sure that I'm pretty positive some of their more expensive products will definitely be faster and whizzing through it, just like with any machine that you get. For this one, I felt it was fine. And it's so funny that I'm doing this video and now I actually hear it manually cleaning itself. So, and oh, by the way, I set this up yesterday, so I've only had this printer one day. But it's cleaning right now. I can hear it very soft in the background. It almost sounds like I'm printing out like a couple of sheets. So that part is nice. It's one of the things I noticed too, like when I have a machine, because I do videos, even though I'm not putting them on YouTube, a lot of times I might show a video to a client like, oh, you know, we're making it, this is how it's made type of thing. And it shakes the table a little bit. So a lot of times, like if I'm using my Glowforge, or if I'm using my Recreate and things like that, I can literally like put a tripod, like a mini tripod, put my camera up there, and it really doesn't shake. This one I found shaked a little bit, but I gotta think about the fact that it is kind of going back and forth, and it's probably going at a slower rate. I don't know. A little bit of shake, but it's not anything major. And I don't know if I forgot to tell you, I did not get a Foot Locker. I just want to put that out there again. When I got it, and I don't even think I have it here right now, but when I think I put it someplace else. But when I got the machine, oh no, I do have it here, it's right here. So when I got the machine, this was in the box. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. So this right here was in the box. And so I'm like, oh great, they have like quality, they test the things. My husband was like, you didn't get a Foot Locker, you have this piece of paper in this machine. I'm wondering, so I'm like, okay. He was trying to be very supportive because he knew I was super excited about this. But as time went on, we really questioned whether or not we got a new printer. So I'll keep on going. So the software I felt was pretty easy to kind of set up. What I do want to say is when you set it up, you're going to get these two books in the actual packaging. This is a user manual, and this is like some QR codes if you need any help. When you set this up, you have to set it up on, you know, a laptop. You can't use iPhone. That was not an issue for me. I don't use, I mean, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, but when I do my creations and things like that, I use like a regular Microsoft type platform. So that really wasn't a big deal to me. I video with my iPhone. I use the creations like on a regular desktop, laptop, and so wasn't a big deal to me. What I can tell you is when you do set it up, you need to make sure that you have something outside of that. Maybe you might have dual screens on a laptop, do like a second one, have it on a desktop computer where you have lots of monitors, because the instructions are YouTube videos. Yes. So you're going to select, when you select your printer, it's going to bring up options, and it's going to go under like setup and tutorials. I'm not sure which, but it's kind of self-explanatory, but you have to go through these videos. I liked it, but I hated it. So I like the fact that I can actually watch the videos and get it done before I actually do the next step. But I didn't like going through a lot of different technologies. That was a little kind of discombobulating because, you know, you have your camera, then you're videotaping it, then you're trying to make sure that you have a laptop just to kind of download the stuff, and then you have to have something else to read the directions. So that was a little kind of cumbersome. But if you have two people, I think it's much better. So just kind of prepare yourself for that. It's not like lickety split. And I know that, you know, I know that the YouTubers, they actually do kind of slim stuff down. I have over 4 hours of footage. I'm going to slim down to like 12 minutes. So I understand that concept. I understand that life. But just make sure that you have something separate that you can watch to actually do the tutorials, because it's not on a piece of paper. So when I downloaded mine, I have like a Lenovo and I have an Asus laptop. So when you went in there and I tried to download something, at some point you're probably going to get a red error. I think it was at like the Microsoft Visio C++. It's saying, you know, this is something that I'm not familiar with. Wait a minute, you might not want to download that. I went past that, it's set up good. I haven't heard anybody else say that, but you're going to get that red pop up basically stating that they don't know if it's safe or not. So one of the other things too, so when I was going through the inks, so I went through the inks and I was missing one of the cups. So that's like the third thing that makes me think I have a used printer. So I'm going through it and my husband's like, well, why don't you have phones for all of them? I'm like, oh, maybe not the white because the top is bigger. So you're able to put that actual bottle cap into the white. And my husband's like, I don't know. He's like, all right. So this is like the third thing that is a little suspect to me. So when I watched some more videos after I hooked up mine, everybody has enough cups for each ink bottle. I had four out of the 5 that was needed. So I had like the cyan, the yellow, the magenta, and the black, but I was missing one, and the one that I chose not to use it for was white because the nozzle part is bigger. So when you, and this was like something funny for me, when you download it, like most crafters or people in this arena and in this industry, they have a lot of printers. I mean, we have Canner, we have HP, we got Brother, we got a lot of printers. So I just gave away my Epson sublimation printer because I knew I was getting this. So when you're downloading us, just know that when it comes up and you're looking, you might be looking for something that says Procolored or, have like a little panda symbol, something like that. No, it's going to come up as Epson. So even though I see on other people's videos, I haven't seen anybody mention that, it is an Epson printer. Because at first I was like, is it trying to, because I gave it to my neighbor, so I'm like, is it trying to hook and trying to Wi-Fi and trying to connect to somebody else's printer? No, it is an Epson printer. So when you download the information, it is Epson. So that's another thing to kind of look out for. When you are doing the dry printing, on the video, it has like a box that has like the colors, like the red, the yellow, the blue, the green, whatever. When you pick a dry printing image, do not do what I did, to where I picked this beautiful picture. It was on a mountaintop, like out in the Indies. It was extremely detailed. Pick something simple, like Snoopy, like something really simple, like a kawaii pic. Do something very simple, because my dry printing took, oh my God, like 40 minutes. And then when it took a little bit for me to get started with it, so I printed it like 4 times. So it's going through this really intricate picture that I picked. So it took longer. So when you pick that, and like I said, they have like these little squares on the wall, but I didn't see where that was an option. So I just picked something, the first thing I saw that was in my picture. So make sure that you have that set aside before you even get started, because you're going to be scrambling at this point. You just kind of want to get it done, get it working. So pick a very simple picture, probably got 3 pictures in it, so it can do like the dry printing. The dry printing went fine. It took forever for me only because I picked this ridiculously complicated picture. And by the way, it doesn't print. It is a dry printing. That kind of threw me off too. And I'm like, oh, how are you going to check? They just want to make sure that it's going back and forth. I had no problem with that at all. They say, and this was another issue where I feel like I just kind of got like a returned item. So they tell you, and I saw, even like when you go on the website, it was like, oh, okay, we're going to send all the things separately. I got everything together all at one time, one shipment. I got my oven, I got my smokeless oven, I got my K13 light, and then I got my ink all at one time. And price. And this is, I know people will have their thoughts about it. I don't know. I'm just a non-YouTuber-ish person that went to a YouTuber that I love to watch, got a lot of the information, and it was her videos that helped me decide that I felt that this was a good printer. I used her, so I paid about $3,200 for everything. I got the printer. The printer was about $19.99, and I got the oven. I can't remember how much the oven was, but I ended up buying like an extra warranty, something for like 3 years, so it ended up being around $3,100. Well, here's the problem. And then I spent like maybe $300 or $400 on the warranty. So even when I look at just getting the printer and the oven, it was probably about maybe $2,500, $2,400, just because by the time I added the warranty and the taxes and things like that, it kind of ballooned up to that. But before I even went to use her affiliate code, I had already kind of put something in with, Procolored. I'm like, oh, okay, just send me some information. So they had already had my email, blowing up my email. They all do, not a big deal. So when I looked on the emails that they sent me, my printer was $1,900. When I went through an affiliate code, it was like $2,400 for the printer. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it was user error. I don't know. And maybe some YouTubers can speak to that. I'm not sure. But when I bought my Glowforge, I used an affiliate. When I bought my WeCreate, I did an affiliate. When I buy my Cricut items, I do an affiliate. I do an affiliate for every single thing I purchase, especially if it's a large purchase. Will I do it when I'm buying a pack of sticker paper? Probably not. I don't. But if I'm buying something that is in the hundreds, like the high hundreds, and definitely in the thousands, and it's somebody that I use, there's like maybe 5 YouTubers that I use religiously, and I always use their affiliates. This was the first time I went to an affiliate code, and the price that they had versus what I had in my email was vastly more expensive. We're talking about a $500 difference. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. But when I bought this, I did not get an affiliate code, which it kind of sucks because I've done videos. I know how hard it is. I know that people do this full time. I know that it helps them. So I'm always going to do affiliate code. But I'm not going to do it to the detriment of me having to pay more money. Even if it was a $50 or $100 more, I probably would have been like, not a big deal in the whole totality of things. But this was like a $500 difference. So I wasn't willing to do an affiliate when I purchased this. So just want to put that out there. Some of the things I like about the machine, it's very compact, and it is like, I love Snoopy, I love Pink, I love Kawaii. So let me tell you, the machine itself is wicked cute. It is so cute. It's smaller than my Glowforge. It almost reminds me of it was probably a little bit bigger than purchasing like a 12 by 12 like craft printer or something like that. I find it extremely compact. I'm able to put it like on a not crazy sized desk. So it's super cute. That much I like. When I printed it out, it printed well. I think I think everything was really good as once I got going. I thought it was great. When I printed out something, I had this AI image of my puppy, and his name is Trevor the Great, and I don't know if you can see that, but this was an AI image, very cute, miniature schnauzer, and this is what I actually did on the machine. So I did this on an inkjetter, I did this on the machine. So this one is the Procolored. This one is just like my, oh my gosh, I think that's my HP inkjetter. So when I did a picture of Trevor the Great, it looks good. I'm very happy. The print quality I think is good. I am not one of those people like, oh my gosh, it needs to be exactly top of line. I think it's really, really good for the price that I paid and what it's made for. It's made for small batch, getting started, not going to blow the bank paying $5,000 and $6,000 and $10,000 for a DTF. I may go to that later once I work on this, but I thought it was fantastic. Here's, as far as like all the videos, you just kind of slide the paper in. I was hoping they had a video because I like directions bit by bit by bit, but you just slide the paper in. So if you're waiting for that instruction, like when to load the paper, that's not going to come. So make sure when it's time to start doing things that you actually load your paper down that slot. One of the issues that I did have, you remember, I want y'all to go back about 15 years. I've been a crafter for a long time. And you remember when sublimation first came out and we were out there, and this is when I think America first started buying stuff from overseas, and you were able to go when Amazon started and when it stopped selling just books, and you were able to spend about $300 or $400 and get these heat presses. When heat presses first came out, they had all these attachments, all these accoutrements with it. But you remember when you tried to set it to heat, but you couldn't understand how to set it up, and everything was in Chinese and all that stuff. That's how I felt when I was using the Procolored smokeless oven. I was able to cobble it together and print, and be able to heat it up. It smoked a little bit, and that's basically was my sign, like, I guess it's done. But the directions, which is one of the longer videos, is the oven. So when you're setting up, putting in ink, you're running through that. It's pretty fast. One of the longer videos, which is about 3 minutes, is to set up the smokeless oven. And even now, it's a day later, I'm gonna try again. I'm still not able to figure out how to get it to temperature, what temperature I need to use, why is the buttons, why can't I set it up? Even when I did it, I don't even remember me even hit start. I clearly hit start because it worked. But I'm gonna go and reach out to Procolor with a second time to get some tutorials on that. My husband has a call out to Procolor about what I received. And we had a discussion about like how we should look at like what we're seeing, because it was slightly bait and switchy-ish. I don't know if I got a used one. As time goes on, I really do think I got a pre-owned one. When it comes to like the videos that we've seen with the Foot Locker, and let me tell you, like I'm like hot under the collar because I really wanted that. I don't think it's the affiliates. The affiliates get something, they market it, that's what they are, that's what they do, and they do it. They're not on the phone being like, okay, I just want to make sure this is what y'all sending them. No, they're getting it, they're reviewing it. That's their job, they do it well, that's why we buy them. But I did not get a crate. I got my stuff super fast. Also, some videos, they have like a little suction cup to actually take out the DTF film so you can put it on your shirt. I did not get that either. So if you're looking for a suction cup or that's supposed to be in there, didn't get that either. But I saw it on multiple videos. That's it. I won't make this any longer, but the machine itself is nice. I think that I may have gotten a pre-owned one. So I'm going to check on that. And I will be doing another video letting you know what the resolution, if any, it is. The machine itself is really nice. When you lose the affiliate codes, please, please, please make sure that you check the price. If you don't mind paying more or that's your bag, it's whatever. But just kind of double check if you've already signed up and what their price is compared to what the affiliate code is, because to me that's kind of janky. It should be the same price. And if anything, the affiliate should be like $50 cheaper, $25 cheaper, or $10 cheaper. So I kind of hated that because, like I said, this is the first major purchase I've done that I did not use an affiliate code. And I like using affiliate codes. But I will keep you posted on what happens. So, as always, stay bougie, my friends.